Everyone's so well trained, they start being quiet the second we sit down. Are you not showing off tonight? Because you're not normally like this. You're not normally this well behaved. I'm suspicious. I know. I'm suspicious of you. Like they're normally really rowdy. What's going on? I don't know. I'm suspicious. Well, thank you all for coming. It is lovely to see everybody, especially as it's all wet and horrible. I don't know where our summer's gone, but you know, it's Britain. We're missing the football. Well, you know where you can go, don't you? But I'm too polite to say it because I'm being recorded, so I'll be good. And I'll be like, thank you for coming. As most of you probably know, I was supposed to have Melinda Cady with us this week. She has got personal issues going on with her family, and she thankfully let me know very early, which was lovely. And I did my Bonnie Tyler impression and started screaming that I need a hero on Facebook, and the void answered, and Adam stepped up to help me, and I'm so grateful because I was like, I'm going to have another week where I've got a cancel. So I very, very, very much appreciate him being here, and we're all going to be very, very nice to him, aren't we? Yes. Okay. If you would like to just open any way you want to, my love, I'd very much appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep, so if you'd like to join me just with a prayer. So, Great Spirit, we'd like to ask you to join us this evening on this miserable night, but to bring upliftment, happiness into this room for us and our loved ones, be that through a message or just through general healing upliftment. Amen.
Do you know what? If I was doing it, I'd be even worse. You wait till you see this mess that I've written here, okay? This is awful. Right, healing book, you all know the drill by now. I've got my little something that I attempted to write earlier. Healing list here. If you haven't put names on it, don't worry, you can put it on after. It all goes to the same place. And I'm just going to read this out, and I'm going to read out the list of the names here. And if you can just give them a moment's thought, just a couple of seconds. I'm not going to make you sit here and count in time in it. I'm not that bad. You can send out love and thoughts however you want to do it. I've got one friend that she visualises it like the Care Bears, you know, like woo, with just this light of rainbow coming at people. And personally, I love that. I think it's really cute. I like to visualise a bubble around people, just nice little bits of happiness. So however you want to do it, I'm not checking in on you. It's fine. Just send out lovely, good thoughts. I wouldn't say imagine in a better place because that sounds bad. It sounds like I'm offering people already. So just imagine in a better situation than they are now. Great Spirit. There's been a lot of uncertainty, arguments and worry the past few weeks, and we ask that we send healing thoughts and help to those who need it and bring thoughts of the future into a positive light, no matter your personal beliefs. Communities must draw together to help those in need, and we send the energy raised tonight where it's needed most. Got Darren, Michael, Mary, Seffi, Scott, Craig, Katie, Sue, Sam, Robert, Maureen, Jackie, Andy and Sarah. So if you could just visualise them for a minute, that'd be wonderful. Lovely, thank you very much. I'm so glad that I finally got over that habit of standing like that when I'm doing it. I sort of stand on one leg and wobble like a flamingo, and it's not good. One of these days I'm going to fall over, and that's how you're going to come out of that. Okay, I've got a tiny little reading tonight. A few people, I wasn't sure if I was going to read this out, but I was assured it was quite amusing, and we felt like we need a little bit of upliftment and amusement here. A few people have asked me when they move into a house and they feel like a presence and a spirit around, can they move with you? And like if you leave, will they follow you? This is one story of someone that does, but I actually thought it was quite funny, so I thought I would go with it. Reclining in the bathtub, starting racy tonight. Reclining in the bathtub with steam rising around me, I let myself have a good cry. Heartbroken, I just moved into a rented house, having recently broken up with a boyfriend. As I sobbed cathartic tears, I sank further into the scented warm water. Only then, I felt a pair of arms around me. It was so real, I cried out in alarm. Flailing around in the bubbles, I craned my neck to look behind me, but there was no one there. Strange, I muttered. Still, something had changed. I felt cared for. as if someone had hugged me. Maybe it was just a warm bath, but I felt better somehow. I got out, dried myself and looked at my reflection. Was it my imagination, or did I feel someone next to me? Again, I turned. Nothing. In time, I got over the breakup, and whenever I went into the bathroom, I always felt as if someone was there watching me. It wasn't a scary feeling, though. It was as if I was being looked after, loved. Then one day, I was talking to a neighbour when they let something slip. Pardon? I said, disbelieving my ears. He repeated it. The last tenant was a man who died on the toilet in your house, he said. I gasped. Died on the toilet? Was that why I always felt a presence in the bathroom? Weirdly, it didn't scare me. Most people would have been horrified at best or even moved out, but not me. I felt as if the phantom presence was a comfort. I even felt something like love whenever I went in there, as if the man had feelings for me. From then on, whenever I went into the bathroom, I'd say hello to my resident ghoul. It says ghoul, I'm going to change that to ghost. I'd tell him all about my day, what was going on, boyfriends and breakups. If I was sad, I felt the same pair of arms around me. What about you, I'd ask. Can't you move on? I never got a reply. In time, I met my husband, Kevin, and we decided to set up home together. I gave notice to the landlord and began packing up my belongings, carefully placing my possessions into boxes. But I knew there was something I couldn't swaddle in bubble wrap like my kitchenware, my friendly toilet phantom. On my last day, I had a quick check around all the rooms to make sure I hadn't forgotten anything. Then I wandered into the bathroom one last time. Sad to leave my friend, I allowed myself to have a little cry. Thank you for your love and support, I wept. No reply. But I felt a warm feeling, as if my ghost was wishing me well. Time passed and I married Kevin and had kids. I often thought about my toilet ghost and wondered what he was up to. Had he found love with the next tenant, or was he still missing me? Then one day, I was having a bath and out of nowhere, I felt a familiar loving presence. Surely not here. Wrapping myself in a towel, I told Kevin about my encounter. Maybe the guy's in love with you and that's why he followed you, he shrugged. You might be right, I laughed. I'd always felt a connection to this man, as if it was a possibility. Next time I took a bath, I said, are you still with me? I was met with the most loving feeling of peace and warmth. I felt as if those arms were around me. He was there. My toilet ghost had followed me. And I didn't really mind. Over the years, I bathed my kids in the bathroom, bathed alone, put on makeup in front of the mirror, and I only ever felt a loving presence. I know some might find the experience terrifying or strange, but I only ever felt warm and loved by my toilet-dwelling ghost. I only ever meant well towards my family, and he's never even been jealous of Kevin. I'll always enjoy spending time in the bathroom thanks to my lavatory love. And it amused me, and I thought we could probably do with a little bit of a laugh tonight. So that's me done. I'm going to hand over to Adam to do whatever he wants to do. I don't mind. You do you.
So I'll start with a bit of an address, just listening to that story. So who could we tell that story to outside of this place? Not a lot of people would want to listen to that or accept it. But sitting out and sort of connecting with my guides and spirit, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? And I thought, I'm going in to see friends. And I've not met half you before, but you are friends. Because when you come together as spirit in a spiritual place, whether it's a church, a centre, in a field, you just have that quick connection and that understanding and acceptance and that kindness that a lot of people out there don't have or don't know that they do have because it's been lost. So just kind of following on from that story, just wanted to say how important it is that people do still meet up, we speak to each other, we don't judge each other, and we share beliefs, ideas without that fear of being judged, to be fair. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's just nice to come to a centre and not have that fear. And I'm going to stop waffling now because I'm repeating words. So.
That's fine. You just do whatever you want to do, my love. I've got nothing else to do, so it's all on you now.
So it looks like we're going to start. So just before I begin, if I do come to you or you can take my evidence, please just answer with a yes or a no. If you're not sure, maybe this is absolutely fine. You can take parts of the evidence. Please feel free to put your hand up. I'd rather have more hands and then work out who I'm actually with than everyone sort of sitting there in silence. And then I'm just now waiting for my first link to come through. So I'm being made aware I've got a lady joining me. And she was very much a lady. She would have loved flowers and she would have loved candles because I'm being made aware of these candles and flowers here. And I feel she would have had a really nice house and she would have kept the house looking immaculate. She was quite a proud lady in appearance as well as at the home. Come closer. I don't feel an old age when this lady passed. She's coming through on a very close friend vibe. So I feel like she could be a sister to someone, or she's a very close friend. She's talking about the name Tracy, so I'm not sure if this is her name or if this is a name that connects around her, but she's saying Tracy. She's got nice energy, but she was a little bit reserved. So I feel that I don't know if she would have been questioning the spiritual movement or just had her reservations, but because she's sort of here, but I feel she would have kept herself to herself. So I don't know if anyone can take any of the information that I'm giving at the moment. So I've got a sister or a close friend coming through. She would have had a really nice house, being very particular, very clean, very tidy. Again, she's talking about the candle, so she would have loved a candle, always had a candle on, and she's saying the name Tracy. Going to be a long night. Come on, Tracy. She's talking about the trips on the bus. So this person here would have gone out with her and you would have gone out on trips on buses together. I feel this was when you were younger. But I feel like she's just saying now you'd have been together a lot of the time. She's talking about all these different memories, and I think you'd have got up to mischief in her younger days. She's making me aware of her chest. So I feel that there would have been a condition around the chest, maybe to do with the lungs towards the end as well. Anyone take anything now? Who's Alan? So she's talking about an Alan as well.
I don't want to put my hand up straight away, but only because she was very young when she passed. But I two different people, but Alan would be her husband and Tracy would be her daughter.
And could you take the candles and the flowers? Because I feel like I was saying, I don't want to make it fit, but it would have been...
Her house is pristine, still is, because they still live at the same house.
And can you take the journeys on the bus and then going out and being more mischievous than when she is... Yeah, rather than when she got a bit older, she kind of settled. And then can you take that, what else did I say? She was a bit reserved to other people. I feel like she didn't open up to everyone.
Yeah.
Can anyone else take any of it before? No, I know. And did you say about the chest, sorry? Could you understand the lungs and the chest?
Yes.
Right, thank you. So she's now talking about you, and she's saying you need to get out there a little bit more and have that fun and that excitement. I feel that's what's missing in your life at the moment. It feels that everything's kind of, is it monotonous, the right word? But it's just the same thing each day, which I know a lot of people can get. But she almost just wants to take you on a random bus journey and just to have fun. I don't know if this is your house, but she's talking about a window upstairs. There's a problem with a window.
Not in my house.
I don't know if it's linked with her. It feels like it's an old window and it would look out over fields. But it's almost like there's a problem with this window. And I don't know if it wouldn't open. She's talking about more of it's more like a cottage window. What are you saying? I don't know if her plans changed. She's spoken about travelling. So I don't know if she had plans to travel and all these big ideas, but I feel that she never managed to travel as much as she wanted to, or never managed to explore as much as she wanted to. And she's saying, you've got the opportunity to do that. You can go wherever you want to go. But again, coming back to, she feels you're not living to your full potential at the moment, if that makes sense to you. Does she have a son? She's talking about her son. I don't know if there's concerns, because she's almost just been like, oh, what do I say about him? So I feel like, I don't think he's a bad person or he's gone terrible, but he might just be kind of a little bit off the tracks at the moment. Just a little kind of steer.
Yeah, it's not so much invisible.
Right. She's laughing, and I'll say this, but have you been scoffing like chocolate? Because I'm seeing the Vicar of Dibley, and it feels as though you're just scoffing like either curly whirlies or chocolate bars, and she's just laughing and she's saying, like, what are you doing, kind of thing. But like, because I feel that you then punish yourself afterwards. It's almost like once it's gone in, you're like, oh, what have I done? But it's, I can't.
But we used to go to the swimming club together. So probably grasping me up.
Can you take a Martin? And I don't know if this is, I don't know if this was something you were seeing or something, but she's talking about Martin and almost been a bit like,
Not me, it was her daughter.
Right. She's not seeing him now though, is she?
Not there.
That's why, that is why. Well, she's talking about Martin, she's giving me that kind of eye, but I feel like he was a bit of a character. I need to move on in a minute. Have you been looking at like artwork? I feel like watercolors or something to do with like going to a place that does art, because I feel like I want to take you to a gallery and you're looking around. Unless this is a memory, because it's almost like you're looking at it going, yeah, like I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's really nice. But I have no idea about like the kind of the intricacies of the artwork. You just appreciate it for what it is, rather than the other side.
But I do buy art stuff. I do like.
It's more like watercolors. Yeah, I feel that maybe she's just having a laugh with that, because I don't know if she was very sophisticated in that sense. But she said she would have enjoyed going and have a look, but you would have had a laugh at the situation. It wouldn't have been all very serious and things like that. And I feel she's talking about your daughter, and she's saying, sometimes you've got to put your foot down, is what I want to say to you. I feel like you find it hard, or you don't always put your foot down, but you're creating that kind of rod. But she's saying, like, again, now is your time to go out and have that fun and to be out exploring. And I feel that you're still very much looking after your daughter and doing everything for everyone else. But something to do with your daughter. I don't know if there's been a little argument or something like that, but she's saying stand your ground.
No, I understand that.
So if you can take that. Yeah, she's just sending her love to you. She's saying just be strong and go out and have a laugh, but she's going to leave that with you, and I'll move on. Thank you. So I've got an older man joining me now. Very different energy. He's a man, but he's a lot older as well. I feel that he would have been... he's talking about being a granddad. I don't know if it's your granddad, but he would have enjoyed being a granddad. I'm not too sure about a dad. He's coming through as being quite tall, standing really tall. So I feel he'd have been quite a confident person, maybe a little bit stern. Old school values. He's talking about having old school values, more older beliefs. I feel this is dad coming through for someone here, because he's talking about, as a father, he's almost like, get up, if you're falling over, get up, carry on. So he didn't show that love as a dad as much as he did as a granddad. The granddad side is a lot softer, almost as though he's, I'm trying to say settled down a little bit, but softened, warmed a little bit. I think the grandkids brought out a different element to him, is what he's saying. He saw life a little bit different. I feel like, again, I want to do a tie-up and put a shirt on, but I don't know if there's like army links, or his life was regimented like an army. Very logical, very methodical. Can anyone take this person? I'm saying it's dad that's coming through.
Take some of it, but I need more.
Yeah. Can anyone else take parts or any of it?
Yeah, I can take parts of it.
Fab. Well, as long as we've got people involved, that's great, because then I can work. I feel this gentleman may have gone into a home. I'm saying home before he passed, but it might also have been like a respite or a centre for old people before they pass. I don't think it was for a long period. I feel his decline was quite quick at the end, but he wouldn't have passed that home. I feel he had a move before passing. Can anyone understand that? Yeah?
He went in the home there.
Right. Talking about Barry, I don't know, again, if this is just a link around, I don't think it's his name, but he's talking about Barry. Would you understand a Barry? No? We'll get rid of Barry then. No, he had a brother. He's talking about having a brother, and they grew up together. Again, I feel his brother would have had a different upbringing slightly. I know they brought up together, just said that, but it's almost like he's saying his brother had it easier or slightly different, and that's what made him the way he is. So I wouldn't say there was resentment, but there's almost, yeah, he's just acknowledging that his brother had a slightly different upbringing, and he's saying that's what made me the person I was. I don't know if there's a condition with his bowels, but he's talking about bowels or stomach area. Anyone take that?
I'll take a brother.
So he had a brother.
He did have a brother, and he brought the brother up, if you like.
Right, that makes sense.
So that would be the difference. I'm not sure about it.
And there's no issues with you with stomach area?
I have bowel cancer.
And can you take him having a brother? We'll carry on. Did this gentleman have a crash? I don't think it was a terrible crash, but towards the end of his life, it was an accident in the car. I believe it was his fault. He was saying, I thought I was quite a good driver, but ultimately, and laughed. So I feel like it was towards the end, and he stopped driving because of it. He was talking about a road collision accident, but he said I was in the wrong at that point. Although he was, again, quite stubborn, so he wouldn't have admitted it then as such. He would have argued it, but he was in the wrong. So he's talking about like a road accident. Something to do with a car.
smaller than a car, lorry.
Right.
So he took another job, driving a lorry in his later years, and he's
I do feel drawn with you, so if it's okay just to work, and then I'll see if he'll come through a bit closer. Do you have family all around the globe? He's talking about, oh, you're spread out. It's almost as if like you don't all come together. Do you understand that? He's saying to me, no, but just you're kind of dotted about. It feels that you don't meet up regular. I feel it could be you, but it affects you maybe more than it does other people. So I don't know if you're one of those people that tries to meet up or keep in contact. But it feels as though someone's trying, but there's no reciprocation with it. Like it's not through thought of trying. It's just other people are busy. But yeah, you haven't seen each other for a while. So he's laughing now. He's talking about his funeral, and I don't know if there was a bit of an argument at his funeral or a bit of a hoo-ha. It's almost like saying, like, not that it was expected, but he had a little laugh at him and thought, that's definitely one of our funerals. Does that make any sense? It's like... Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting. It's almost like it got rowdy and there was cross words. But I don't think it was a big fight. It was just, and then it died down. But it almost caused a little bit of a heated moment. And then he had a little laugh and said, yeah.
It was a heated moment. It was not a heated moment. It went around the wife's house.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little heated moment there.
He's saying about you, I feel like you wear the poppy with pride. Something to do with a poppy, if not. He wants to give you a poppy, and it's like you're taking it and wearing it with pride. Does that make any sense? No. I don't know if it's like a badge or it's something that you're putting on, and I've seen it as a poppy. It's like you hold it close to your heart, this emblem or something like that, but yeah. If not, it could be a flower, a red flower, but I'm seeing it as a poppy, almost like a brooch. He's now just laughing. He's saying, have you got two left feet? Because he's looking at your dancing. And he's saying about you, I don't know if you've been trying to dance, but you're struggling to dance or you're struggling to coordinate your feet. Does that make any sense? Right.
So I'm not as good as what I used to be.
That could make sense because it's...
There's a few times where, yeah, he would have laughed his head off.
Is there someone around you now as well, an older lady that you're looking after and that you're caring for, looking out for? He's saying you're doing a good job. I feel she winds you up a little bit, but you have to... Yeah. I feel she would have wound him up, but he's saying like, now you're dealing with it, but you're doing it very well. It's almost like you're not allowing it to row you. You're just, it's the breath work. It's almost like you're taking a deep breath in and pushing it down. Then when you leave, it's like, I feel he wouldn't have been, again, going back like one to give you a compliment, but he's saying like, you're a good lad. He's a good lad. And he appreciates everything you're doing for your mum and for everyone around you. I feel you would have been different to Dad in the sense of being a lot softer, but almost that you're in connection with other people. And he's saying, I never had that connection that we have sort of in places like this. He was a lot sterner and a lot closed off to his emotions. Yeah. It's almost like he just wants to say sorry and shake your hand, give you a handshake. But he's not a man of many words, so I'm just going to leave that with you if that's okay. That's sorry, but he's coming through and he is sending love and to his mum, to your mum and his wife. Thank you. So I've got a young guy coming through, and he's saying there's more energy over there at the moment. What am I doing? I need to get everyone a bit more G'd up. So I'm like, all right. I don't think he would have passed at an old age. Feel like he would have had the gift of the gab. He would have been able to talk his way out of anything. Almost like a little bit of like a Del Boy kind of feel to him. He would have taken his fab. So he could take his hand to anything. I feel like he would have done lots of different jobs to make some money, or he would have been able to do different different bits and bobs. Quite, yeah, fab. Would there be a dog around him as well? Because he's talking about the dogs here with me, and it's like they're going for walks and things like that, and it's just, yeah, they're together. Can anyone else take this gentleman? No. Let me carry on and just still listen. Does it make sense if I told you you were right? I feel like you would have said something to him and he was like, no, and done something completely different or didn't listen, and then something happened. Yeah, he just wants to say, like, you were right. You were right. So I just feel like it might have just been more than one thing, but it's almost like he didn't accept what he's being told. And he's now saying, no, do you know what? You were right. You knew best, but I'd done it my own way. It's the type of feeling. Don't know if he was a gamer or something, but I feel like he would have spent a lot of time awake in the evenings. A bit of a night owl. Does that make any sense as well? I see him awake late at night when other people are sleeping. But yeah, it's almost like he's on his computer or on his game. And yeah. Did he break his arm? Is there someone that's broken their arm recently? Because I feel like someone's got their arm in a cast, and they're getting frustrated by it. That's fine. I don't know if this is here. I feel like someone was in a motorbike accident or moped accident and they broke their arm. I need to give it to you again, but yeah, it's right. I feel like he's talking about someone else, or it's someone else stepping in, but I'm being shown the arm in the cast and the bike. Again, very similar to earlier, but you're not getting out as much as you used to at the moment, because they're talking about almost feeling very low and very lonely. don't know if you were looking after someone or you were doing something, but it's almost like you had something to focus your energy on, and it's been pulled away or it's gone, and now you're like, well, what do I do? Like, what's my purpose? Are you not a very patient person? I feel, I mean, it might be more to do with the activity. It's almost like you've got a colour by numbers or a little, and you start it, oh, no, I can't be bothered. And then you're like, I'm bored. So it feels like you do a little bit and then you stop, and it's like, that's not fulfilling it. So that was more what I felt rather than patient. It's just the boredom's almost like, no, I can't be bothered with that. And it frustrates. Do you have connections to Norfolk? I don't know if it's family, but I want to take you to Norfolk, or there's mentioning Norfolk. I don't know if this is his nan or is talking about someone. Did you go and visit someone in Norfolk? I feel like they may have passed, and then you haven't had the reason to go there. Does that make any sense? It's like you haven't been for a while because you haven't got that reason to go. There was someone there that you used to go and visit. With this. Mm-hmm. He's saying he's happy. He's saying, I'm quite happy here with the dog. And he's not saying much more because I'm saying, well, come on, give me a bit more. He's like, no, I'm here. I've come through. I don't know if that's the way he was. It's like, almost like, I've not got much more time. You're going a bit slow and I'm ready to go. So he wants to go off with the dog. But he's just coming through with a smile on his face. And he's saying, I'm all right. Like, don't worry about me. I'm living the best life. I don't think you've got a lot of jewellery, but I feel like he wants to say, if you sell some of that jewellery, you can get a bit of money. Does that make any sense? Or if you've been thinking about it, because he's saying, spend the jewelry, I don't know what he's saying, but get rid of the jewellery, get some money and go and do something with the money, because I don't feel the jewellery's doing a lot at the moment. I don't think it's sitting there, but go out and see people is what he's saying. Be around people rather than doing these things on your own. Has your Hoover packed up or something? Because he's talking about not hoovering. And I don't know if you've made an excuse. I feel like it's either blocked or full. And he's saying like, well, you can sort it out. But you're saying, no, like I can't hoover if this isn't right. Does that make any sense? Because he's laughing. It could be that. And I don't know if that's an excuse that you didn't hoover, but it's almost like you were like, oh, well, we can't hoover now. And he's laughing because he's like, I would have done the same thing. I don't know if there's like a wedding coming up, but they will have I'm seeing someone in a kilt. I feel like it's a dressed up kilt version. So an event or something with someone wearing a kilt. Unless there's things with Scotland, but is that in Scotland? Fab. So yeah, wedding, that makes perfect sense then, thank you. No, he's a really nice lad. I feel like he's saying, you know, you've relaxed now. I can go. I'm off with the dog. But he's just sending you love and just saying like he's always around you. But yeah, sell the jewellery and listen to him this time type of thing. But yeah, I'll leave his love with you. So I've got a lady with me now, and she's talking about her sister. She would have passed at a good age. Again, I feel you would have done a lot with this person. You'd have been quite close. I feel she would have been a big part of your family because it's almost as if she didn't have a very big family or she didn't have a family. So she was part of your family, and you had the partner and the kids. And although I don't think there's a big age gap, I feel that when she was close to passing, or when she was getting older, you would have looked after her. I could feel that she may have had hearing aids, and she would have struggled, and you would have been a lot more mobile. And she's just making me aware of how much she appreciated that, even though she couldn't say it at the time, or she didn't say it at the time. Can anyone understand this person? May not be a sister, but can you understand? Sorry. Anyone else? So can you understand someone that wouldn't have had a family? Does that make sense? Because that's quite strong. And she would have been part of your family, and you would have done a lot for her towards the end. I'm seeing the hearing aids, and it's almost as if she was very isolated, and she relied on...
She refused hearing aids and left the shout.
She's showing me hearing aids now, but...
You could hear the television when you came in the building.
Bless her. So this isn't your sister?
No, my mum's sister.
Right, fabs. She said sister, but that makes sense.
She's 97.
So it is a good age. Did you take her to see the lights? She's telling me she was taken to see the lights, and I don't know if it's at Christmas in London, but it's a memory, and I feel like she was pushed around, but almost we went to see the lights. What does that mean?
My sister got her in her car and took her to see the Christmas lights just sort of right through Stortford.
That meant so much to her, is what she's telling me. She's like, we went to see the lights and it was magical. I felt like it was like you went to London, or you went to like Netherlands, but it's like, no, it doesn't matter where it was, but to her, it was just, oh wow. She's telling me she was a pirate, and I don't know how to give you that. And it's almost like she's on a boat and she's saying, I was a pirate. I have no idea how to interpret that. But I don't know if she's just talking about playing games and things like that, but it feels like she wouldn't have been, I don't know if there's kids around you, that she was part of the games with...
She was a nanny.
Oh, fab. That makes sense, because it's, yeah.
Never had children of her own, but brought up loads of other people.
Right. She was telling me she was a pirate, and I'm seeing this almost someone out of energy, but going for it. And I'm like, whoa, you've got more energy than I've got being a pirate. Does the initial E mean anything?
Her middle name began with E.
She's saying about E. I feel like, I don't know if the name Ethel as well means anything, but she's giving me an E, and she's talking about June being significant. I don't know if that's a passing, but I feel like it's more of a celebration now, if that makes any sense. So I don't know if you make a big deal out of it, but it's like June, it's a happy time. If you can...
My mum's birthday in June.
Right, fab, yeah. I don't know if I meant to really say it like this, but it's almost like she's saying, oh, don't get old. Don't get old. I wanted to stay young. It's hard work being old. I don't think she liked being looked after very easily. I feel like she put up with it and accepted it, but she would have been maybe hard work whilst it was happening. But now she's saying, I don't know how, like, you've done so much for me. And I just really appreciate it. And yeah, I was hard work.
My mum's favourite saying was never grow.
I don't know if this is one of my memories, but I don't know if she had a tin of sweets. And I want to take a Werther's out of it or something like that. But she's giving me this tin of sweets now and saying, go on, have one of those. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed, I'm working. But she's like, go on. And she would have like encouraged someone to have them. almost like, shh, don't tell anyone. And then she'd have one. I don't know if she was diabetic or she wasn't meant to have them, but no one knew because it was okay. So she's got that cheeky side to her still. I thought she would have had her marbles to the end. She's not making me aware that that was missing. Anything else? So there's someone around you, a younger girl, and it's something to do with her lips. I don't know if she's going to get lip filler or she just has really big lips drawn on, but she's almost saying, what is that about? I don't think she would have approved. It's like, I don't understand it. But I feel like she's almost saying she's beautiful without makeup. She's beautiful without that done. But I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It's almost like someone's had them done or thinking about having lips made bigger. Do you understand that?
The only person would be my daughter doesn't need that done. Her lips are beautiful already.
Does she have big lips? Like, maybe that's what it is then, because she's talking about, but I felt like it was either lips were being done or she puts on lipstick and they look huge. And she's saying she's pretty without the makeup. She's pretty without trying, is what I felt like she'd say. Anything else? I don't know how old your daughter is. Has she just finished like A-levels or GCSE or something like that? Or finished something? It's like she's got to the end of whatever she's doing. I know, I was just thinking that when I said that. And I was like, actually, probably not. Has she just got a promotion or just finished something she's working on? Because it's almost like she's receiving a certificate and everyone's like, well done.
Always advancing herself in her job.
Fab.
She takes continuous extra programs.
Yeah.
So she can administer medication and
Oh, perfect.
the health.
That was probably my mistake because I saw it as GCSE, then A-level, and it's like she just keeps going. It's what I would have said, and that's what she's shown me. I feel that you push yourself. I don't know if she's now saying, do you know what, you need someone to look after you at times, but I feel, I don't know if it's your needs, but it's almost like you've got a stubbornness. And she's saying, see, I accepted the help, but now I don't know if you're not accepting it or you're not using what you should be using. But she's laughing with it and saying, look, don't give up the go. She admires you for that, but sometimes allow other people to do a little bit more for you so you're not worn out, if that makes any sense. That's pretty much, so what she's just saying is, thank you for being a part of my family, or as a part of your family. I never felt like we weren't. She knows it was really hard work sometimes, but she just really appreciates everything you've done. So I'm going to just leave her love with you. But she's a beautiful person. So thank you. Who else? So I've got a man coming through. Wow. He was involved with drugs, and I don't know if it's a policeman or the other side, but it's almost like he could be both as well. But he's talking about the police and the drugs. I feel it's quite big. I feel he got himself caught up in it quite quickly, and it escalated, and there wasn't any going back. He's saying, I was a lovely person if you were my friends, but I wasn't a very nice person if I wasn't your friend. Can anyone take this gentleman? He's got, I'm not saying he's got a bit of two personalities coming through. Right. Can anyone else take any bits? So can you take the drugs as being significant? And could you understand why he's talking about, I don't think he's undercover, but like the police and then anything like that? No? I feel it escalated quite quickly. And he was a nice guy, like I say, to his friends, but I feel he would have held his own. Does that make any sense? Can you take the name Mike or Michael as being significant? He's talking about a Mike, a Michael. Still talking about, he's saying Mikey boy. If you don't understand who that is, but he's talking about old Mikey boy. So I'll leave that, but... Would he have been responsible for taking his own life? Does that make any sense? I feel there would have been a lot of mental health going on around him, because it doesn't seem to be making much sense. It's almost like he's very anxious talking to me now. It's that trust, and not too sure if he trusts me, I don't think. Does he have a son? Is there a young boy that's similar to him? It's almost like I don't know if it's a nephew, but he's saying he's like a mini me. Are you two together, sorry, or not? No. So can you take... Right, and what can't you take? That's fine. So was this his son, if it was of you? And when does he look like him? Because he's talking about he's like a mini me, but it's like the resemblance is very close. Yeah. I feel like I'm just being nosy now, but would you understand the connection to the police and the drugs?
The police, but that was because he was a policeman.
And was he involved in drugs or something?
No, he was such a senior officer that they would have been aware.
Did he ever go undercover? Would you have known that? It's like this, I don't know, I'll leave it with that, but it's like this operation got really big with the drugs.
It could be the drugs that were around him at the end.
Potentially. Would you understand his partner isn't coping very well? I don't know if it's still now, but I feel that it's just been very hard for her. Yeah, he's just saying she's in such a dark place. I feel he had quite a hard life as well, like a lot going on, because he's talking about his childhood and with his dad, almost as being a lot, he wants to take him back to childhood and that like kind of carefree. I feel like when he was older, he had just had a lot going on. Does that make any sense?
It would be with him.
Yeah, it's almost like he wants to just go back, but he's talking about his childhood memories with his dad. I feel they were happy memories. Had a close bond. Was there something done at sea for him? I don't know if it's his ashes or around water. Does that make any sense? It's like people are meeting up at this, I see it as the sea, but lake or something, and doing like a ceremony. I think it's for his passing.
Don't know about that. To be perfectly honest, I thought that was very rare.
Yeah. Who's Barbara?
No idea.
He's talking about Barbara. Feel Barbara will connect to his partner. I don't know how, but he's talking about Barbara connected to her. Is there a significance to December as well? Because he's mentioned the month of December.
Yes.
As long as you can take it. I don't think it's not Christmas, but I feel like, yeah, there's a significance. He's just saying December. I don't know if there was an argument or something happened with, I feel like it's his ring or a band. Something was given and I don't know if it went to the wrong person. Would you understand that?
There was a ring, but it didn't go to the wrong person.
Did someone else?
There was a ring given away, which was correct, which wasn't light.
Maybe that's what it is, because he's saying about someone believed that it should be theirs, or someone believed it shouldn't have gone to that person. But he's talking about, yeah. I don't know if this was his house, but I feel that he would have been very magnolia or light greys. I don't think he would have liked a lot of colour, if that makes any sense. I feel there would have been a house that had a lot of colour, and he's talking about that as being like a bit overwhelming. Would that make any sense?
I didn't know that to that extent.
Right. It's almost like he just wants to keep things quite simple, quite clean, tidy, simplistic, rather than bright colours or flowery wall patterns and things like that. I don't think he would have liked the colour in here, to be fair, is what he's saying.
I don't know about that.
I think he's just come through to be acknowledged. He's not, like I say, coming through very close. So I'll just leave his love with you, if that's okay. Thank you. One more? Or
Yeah, you can squeeze another one in here.
I'll try and speed up a bit.
You're all right, brother. About like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, we're still going, aren't we? Sorry. Yeah. I thought we had finished at like 15:15. Keep going. Don't say that. I won't let everyone leave. So I've got a gentleman coming through and he's got a very different energy. He's quite a bubbly person. He's got a big smile on his face. I feel this is a husband for his wife coming through, or a partner. He's saying he never did lose the weight. I don't know if anyone can understand that. It's almost like he was meant to be on a diet, or he was trying to diet, but he never did lose the weight. But he didn't care. It's like he was happy. Yeah. What do doctors know is what I want to say. It's almost like the doctor says you could do with losing a few pounds. And he's like, yeah, I'll try, but didn't actually try at all. Just carried on. I don't know if it's actual fishing, but I can see him fishing. So I feel he would have liked his own space, or he would have liked to take himself off, almost just escape, because I see him on his own fishing, or in his own he said he was fishing, but a family man that was talking about being very family orientated. People would have gone to him for advice. So he's like, they would all come and I would have given my best. Can you take this gentleman? I don't know if I am with you. No, can anyone else take this person? No, that's fine. So I've got this, I feel like it's a partner. I feel like it's a husband coming through. Yeah, I am seeing him a little bit overweight, a little bit bigger. But he's talking about the family. I think it's quite a big family that would have come round. And he would just given his advice. I feel it would have been advice that he'd learned on his way rather than sort of academic. I feel he would have been someone that's picked up life skills. And he's talking about fishing. So I definitely feel like he would have had a connection to fishing or an enjoyment of fishing. Anyone take any of that? This isn't partner, would it be dad? Because I feel I may have made an error there. Because he's talking about his children again, children and grandchildren. I feel there would have been a lake nearby the house that he would have gone to quite a lot. Feels like he's taking the kids out and they've got like an electric boat that they'd take out to the lakes. And I feel this may be a memory. So can anyone understand this person at all? It's very happy chappy, very chilled. I feel, again, he's talking about his house, and I feel people would have been around the house a lot. So people would have been coming and going. It would have been quite a busy house. My door is open, but you come in and you make yourself at home, help yourself to food. Quite a relaxed household. And he said he wouldn't have had it any other way. He loved it. His grandkids would come around, they'd be noisy, they'd be playing, and they'd be running around. He'd sort of be sitting there, a cup of tea, chilling, but just enjoying the noise rather than allowing it to stress him out. Can anyone take a name Roxanne or Roxy? Can anyone take anything?
I took some of the bits when there was a weight bit that threw me. It's not a part of that. My dad, there's a lots of little things, but they're just, you know, when things are just slightly off kilter when you get something in your head. So things like the fishing, he didn't like taking them off, but we, as kids, we used to go to the, there was a stream where we used to go like fishing.
Yeah.
My brother didn't have an electric boat, he had like a sailboat thingy. And we lived near Wales actually, so we used to go down to the lake. Yeah. What threw me was he never really needed to bother about his weight or anything. Maybe his diet, I don't know.
Maybe it was diet that I mean, I felt I was with you earlier on, but let me see. Could you understand having a busy household? Lots of people come in and go in.
He absolutely loved seeing people. He would have done it more apart from but yeah, he just loved people and kids and family.
And was he a very calm gentleman? Because I feel like he's still got a cup of tea and the kids could be there and he's just like, get on with it. Like, and so almost just smiling into the noise, into the chaos, and it didn't affect him. So now I've just become a bit like obsessive with the weight and I need to move on. Is there someone that needs to lose weight, that the doctors have said to lose weight, that you can understand? Because if not, I'm just going to leave that because it's going back to the doctors are saying it. and they're not that worried, they're not listening to the advice. It's almost like, oh, okay, but I feel it's for health. It'll be for health benefits. It'll be beneficial to the person if they were to lose weight. It'll be a bigger person if it is. I believe it'll be a male person.
I'm worried about my weight. They just told me I've got to lose weight, but I'm worrying about it.
I don't feel it. Well, it might be, but I don't think it is with you. So maybe it's just concerns then, concerns around weight if you're worrying about it. But
my mate's still alive.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be that then. It's the concern. But like I say, the person isn't as worried. The person, your mum, doesn't seem to worry her. Or it's not. She's not doing anything about it. Would he have gone out on boats? I know we said about the lakes, but I don't know if he was a sailor, but he's just like almost putting on a hat and then pretending to be a sailor. I don't think he would have been, I think he just would have given it a go. Yeah. And pretended to be this sailor. Yeah. So now I feel like he's just saying, so I'd have given anything a go. It's almost like if someone said, do you fancy doing this? He'd have been like, yeah, why not? Let me have a go. Yeah. It's a yes man, almost like grab life and say yes. I don't think it's the weight. I'm moving on from the weight. Has someone fell through a chair recently, or is a chair broken? Something to do with a chair that's not safe. I feel like it's a dining room chair.
I know what happened with the chair once. Yeah, that was quite significant.
It's talking. It's just showing me this chair and it's breaking. For the person that fell through the chair. That makes sense. Again, I keep saying it, but it's almost like he would.
Now that person, he didn't take any notice about the weight, because she actually broke a chair in the garden at his anniversary at the garden party. She went straight through the chair.
So she needs to take attention.
I wonder if it's his niece.
It could be a lot of people, but yeah, no, it's. He just found it funny, but he wasn't worried about the chair, is what he's saying. I know some people get a bit like, oh my God, like, you've just broke my chair. But he's just like, laugh it off and, are you okay? And just making sure she wasn't embarrassed. It was just that really nice energy is showing me again. I don't know if he kept a diary or a bookkeeper. It feels like he's got books and he's talking about all these books that he would have written in. I don't know, it's like he was anal about keeping them in an order. And I feel someone else isn't as worried about.
I know if you think of books with like more accounting.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing it as. Yeah, he was the person that worried about the money and sorted out the bills and being the organised person, if that makes any sense.
Well, we should have been. You got mad about it. And the books that are significant things.
Right.
Like it's been like all the things that make me laugh.
Mm. Yeah, no, you're right, because I feel like he just said then, like, that's what it's all about, just laughing and smiling and not worrying about all the kind of, like, crappy stuff that goes on. It's just like, let it go. Just worry about the big things. Not those big things, but is there connections to someone around you that goes to a church and does, like, bell ringing, or can you understand the ringing of the bells? Because he's talking about that, and it's almost like someone's got the rope and they're bell ringing. But I feel like it's, he's just talking about that. So it's like someone does the bell ringing. Does that make sense?
Well, I did not rope bell ringing, but I do know somebody who does it now.
you know, talking about the ringing of the bells, but I felt like it was on the ropes, if that makes sense. So it would be more the church bells. Did he have a pipe? Would he have smoked a pipe? He's talking about.
I don't think he ever did. I don't think he. I can't remember it.
Whoever it is, they're enjoying it. So whoever it smokes the pipe, they really used to enjoy a smoke. Is there any problems with your hands and your dexterity? Because he's talking about your hands, and I feel like, I don't know if it's arthritis or arthritic. It's almost like picking things up and moving bits around. It's getting harder. Are you someone to give anything a go, in the sense of, I feel like I could say to you, like, oh, if you've done this, this and this, and you go, oh my God, take my money, and you'll give it a potion or a lotion a go, rather than be like, oh no, I want it to be like pharmaceutical, I want it to be, it's like if someone tells you to take turmeric, you'd be like taking bags of it, or like, I'll give it a go. Does that make sense? Because he's laughing, he's just like, yeah, you'll try anything. It's like shaking his head, or he's saying, they haven't finished the wall. Have you got a wall that needs to be finished? And someone's saying that they're going to get on and finish it. Or it's like there's a brick wall and it's not finished yet. Does that make any sense? It's this wall that's been said about being finished, and it feels like it's more like years rather than weeks, but it's almost like a standing joke. It's laughing and saying that wall's still not finished. But he's, again, like, he's laughing at it and thinking, doesn't really matter, but they're saying they'll finish it. Was there talks of moving? I don't know if this is for him, but he's saying there was a talk of a move, but it never happened.
Yes.
I feel she would have had a very different energy to him. I don't know if she's kind of just laughing it off, but I don't know if he just not ignored her, that sounds rude, but just kind of let her get on with it. I feel she would have been a bit stressy and a bit controlly, because he's just saying, oh, like, she got her own way again with the move type of thing. Like, I knew she wouldn't, but just don't worry about it. Like, she does her own thing.
Yes.
Can she upset a lot of people? Does that make sense? Because it's almost like he's just saying, like, I can't believe she just said that type of thing. He was good for her, though, I feel like. He's saying, almost like he calmed her down, but when she gets into one, he'd be able to diffuse the situation, and he saw a very vulnerable side to her, rather than maybe the side that she shows, to put up with what he put up with, potentially. You know, he's saying, like, she's not all bad. I feel like people might have this opinion of her, but it's like there is a nice side, and he can understand why she is the way she is, and he loves her. Yeah, he loved everything about her, even the way she was, with her, like, tantrums or her stubbornness. Did they have an anniversary, like a big anniversary or something? Because it's almost like, I don't know if it's 50 or something, but it's like we got there, and a lot of people nowadays don't, and it was something he was proud of, almost like it was an achievement. Maybe not an achievement, but do you know what I mean? But no, it meant a lot to him that they'd stuck it through, and they've seen it through. And he's saying to me, he's like, almost like, I painted this woman out to be this person, but she is a lovely person. I loved her. So yeah, he's just saying like I wouldn't have chosen anyone else to be with, and they balanced each other out. So it's really nice to hear that, even if she did get on his nerves and get on other people's nerves. I've asked if there's anything he wants to say. I don't know if you like horses or something to do with horses, because he's saying he wants to take you to a horse. I don't know if you're like a Reiki, almost like you go and stroke the horses, or being around horses brings you so much happiness. So it's like, tell her to go and see the horses. So I don't know what that means, but almost like he just wants to bring you happiness. But it's like when you're with these horses, I just feel like you have this connection with them. If you understand that, it's just, yeah, no, he's just saying go and find some horses. Like just go and see them in a field, go and talk to the horses. I feel like you could get a lot off your chest by just talking to these horses. And he's giving you a donut, but I feel like it's a jam donut, and he wants you to bite into it and drip it down you. And I don't know if it's a memory, but it's almost. So I don't think it's you that he's worried about with the eating, but he's passing you this donut and just saying like bite into it, get messy, and enjoy it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's a jam donut, and he's passing it with a big smile on his face, saying like get all the sugar everywhere, and yeah, just don't worry. He's a really nice gentleman. Yeah, he's just saying look after yourself. Like put yourself first, but just, yeah. Almost have that carefree attitude he had to some things. Don't hold on to like everything. Let the bits you don't need to go, because I feel like sometimes it weighs you down. And he's saying like, don't worry, literally just leave everything and go and see the horses and have a donut and laugh. But I was like, he knows that can't be every day. But yeah, just smile and make the most of life. But I'll leave his love with you. Thank you. Oh, good. Oh, thank you.
You're done, my love.
I'm done, thank you.
Do you want me to close for you?
If you can, yeah, thank you.
Right, we'll just take a moment just to thank our guys and our loved ones for coming close to us today, and just ask them to put a protection around us as we leave here, and to keep the doors of this sanctuary open so that they can continue to pass on happiness to people. And I would just like to thank Annie for working again. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, amen.